Hello everyone, myself M.A. Mahant, working in Computer Science and Engineering Department as an assistant professor in Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today we are going to discuss the topic software required specification used in software engineering. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, student will be able to describe the need and characteristics of software required specification document, describe the different components of software requirement specification document, first we are going to see the definition of SRS. A software requirement specification is a document that lays out the description of the software that is to be developed as well as the intention of software under development. Software requirement specification shows what the software is supposed to do as well as how it is supported to perform. It is written down before the actual software development work starts. SRS means software requirement specification where all the customer requirements are specified. It is an agreement between the developer and the customers regarding the project. Need of software requirement specification. So here we are going to discuss there are a need of software requirement specification. So there are four needs of software requirement specification. The first need is an SRS establishes the basis for agreement between the client and the supplier on what the software product will do. The second one is an SRS provides a reference for validation of the final product. Third one is a highly quality SRS is prerequisite to high quality software. Fourth one is a high quality reduces development cost. Now here we are going to discuss the need of SRS one by one. So an SRS establishes the basis for agreement between the client and the supplier on what the software products will do. So in this, the basis of for agreement is formalized in a legal contract between the client and the developer. Though SRS, the client clearly describes what it expects from the developer and the developer clearly understands what capabilities built in the software, all the customer requirements are specified in the SRS. Meeting can be arranged between the customer and developer for getting the requirements from the client. An SRS provides a reference point for validation of the final product. Means here the SRS helps the client determine if the software meets the requirements. Without SRS, it is very difficult for the client and the developer what was ordered and what the developer unable to convince the client that all the requirements are fulfilled. It drives the project cost, schedule and quality. 25% errors are resolved in the required specification. Correct implementation of SRS lead to correct development of software. A high quality SRS is prerequisite to high quality software. Here finally the quality of SRS has an impact on the cost and schedule of the project. Hence by improving the quality of requirement we want or we have a huge savings in the future, having fewer expensive defects removals. A high quality end product that has few errors, we must begin with high quality SRS. Quality will impact on cost and schedule of the project. Reduction in the project is caused by reducing the errors in the SRS, and SRS provides a reference for validation in the final product of software. High quality SRS is prerequisite to high quality product of software. High quality SRS reduces the development cost. A high quality reduces development cost. Here the quality of SRS impacts the client and developer satisfaction, system validation and quality of final software and the software development cost. It helps to increase the performance, efficiency, portability and reliability of software. So if the software is totally error free, definitely it will be having high quality and that reduces the development cost. Next is characteristics of SRS. So there are different characteristics of SRS. The characteristics of SRS are described below. The first characteristics is the SRS correct. Means what? What are the requirements specified in the SRS, that will be correct requirement. So first characteristics is correct. SRS is correct when all user requirements are stated in the requirements document. Unambiguous. The second characteristics, SRS is unambiguous when every stated requirement has only one interpretation. Complete. SRS is complete when the requirements clearly define what the software is required to do. This includes all the requirements related to the performance, design and functionality. Next characteristics is ranked for importance or stability. All requirements are not equally important. Hence, each requirement is identified to make difference among the other requirements. The next characteristics is modifiable. The requirements of the user can change. Hence, requirements documents should be created in such a manner that those changes can be modified easily, consistently, and maintaining the structure and style of the SRS. Traceable is the next characteristic. SRS is traceable when source of each requirement is clear and facilitates the reference of each requirement is in future. Next characteristics is verifiable. SRS is verifiable when the specified requirement can be verified with cost-effective process to check whether the final software meets those requirements. The next characteristic consistent. SRS is consistent when the subsets of individual requirements are defined do not conflict with each other. I'm going to ask one question to all the students. You have to pause the video and write the answer. Which of the following property does not correspond to a good software requirement specification? One is option A is verifiable, option B ambiguous, option C complete, option D traceable. So, this is the question, which of the following property does not correspond to a good software requirement specification? Pause the video and write the answer. The correct answer is ambiguous. So, verifiable, complete and traceable, these are the property or characteristics of the SRS. So, unambiguous, the term is not related to the characteristics of SRS. The next one is components of SRS. The following are the components of SRS: functionality, performance, design constraints, imposed of an implementation, and external interfaces. These are the 4 components of SRS. So, in shortly, these components can be described as an SRS should be addressed among the other things. Functionality of the software means what the software will do. Required performance level means required performance level such as response rate, recovery rate, etc. of the software. Design constraint mean any operating system limitation, such for example the stock exchange software only run on Windows, implementation language, etc. that will affect or limit the design of software. External interface means how the given software will interact with the hardware, other softwares and assumptions on these entities. Quality attribute, the non-functional factors that are used to evaluate the performance of the software, such as security, safety and portability, etc. Now we are going to see the each and every component one individually. So first we are going to see the functionality. So dynamic requirements specify the constraint on the execution behavior of the system. These typically include response time and throughput constraints on the system. Response time is expected time for the completion of an operation under specified circumstances. Throughput is an expected number of operations that can be performed in a unit time. Next is performance. In the performance requirement part of SR specify performance constraints on the software system. All the requirements relating to perform characteristics of the system must be clearly specified. There are 2 types of performance requirements, static and dynamic. Static requirements, those do not impose constraint on the execution characteristics of the system. These include requirement like number of terminals to be supported, number of simultaneous users to be supported, and the number of files that the system has to process and their sizes. These are called the capacity requirements of the system. Dynamic requirements means what? You have to request time, response time, etc. Design constraints imposed on an implementation. So here there are a number of factors in the client's environment that may restrict the choices of a designer, leading to the design constraint. Such factors include standard that must be followed, resource limits, operating environment, reliability and security, and policy that may have an impact on the design of the system. And SRS should be identify and specify all such constraints. Security. So security requirements are becoming increasingly important. These requirements place restriction on the use of certain commands, control access to data, provide different kinds of access requirements for different people, require the use of passwords and cryptography techniques, and maintain a log of activities in the system. They may also require proper assessment of security threats, proper programming techniques, and use of tools to detect flows like buffer or overflow. So security, here we are using some authentication, some algorithms, some techniques for providing the security to the software. External interfaces. So in the external interface specification part, all the interactions of the software with the people, hardware and other software should be clearly specified. For the user interface, the characteristics of each user interface of the software product should be specified. User interface becoming increasingly important and must be given for proper attention. A preliminary user manual should be created with all user commands, screen formats, and explanation of how the system will appear to the user. These are their preferences. Thank you.